Hey everybody, welcome in. My name's Jakin, and in this video, we're gonna be building some garden beds. So we gotta clean this area up, and then our first two garden beds are gonna go right here. Two 10-footers. That'll leave 4 feet around the whole outside and in between both of them. We have quite a bit of slope in our garden going this way, so that's why the garden beds that way would have been way more of a pain to level. This way it's pretty level going this way. So yeah, like I said, we tried mulch last year in between the rows, and it really didn't do anything for the crabgrass. There was a little area of the garden that I tilled last year, and everywhere that I had tilled, the mulch did nothing, and the landscape fabric, everything just grew right up through it. But the couple other areas that had been covered the year before with fabric, those were good. So that's why we were thinking with the tarp. This seemed like a better method. I just didn't like the idea of tilling up the whole garden every year. I'd rather have designated planter areas, and then we can amend that soil a lot easier than trying to do the whole garden. Last year we actually had a lot of volunteer tomatoes after we tilled it up because the tomatoes had gone to seed. This year's actually been pretty good. There's not too much crazy stuff coming in. I haven't been too bothered by these weeds because these are all gonna be covered by the beds. The beds those are pretty big beds that we're building. And we don't have a tractor with a bucket. So that's why I'm only doing one 2x10. I'm not gonna make them any taller than that just because we'd have to fill it with so much dirt, and we don't have any kind of tractor. Yeah, this stuff is a pain. It hooks on everything, but obviously it didn't last over the winter. For some reason, there's also chain link fence pieces in here. We were finishing our chain link fence, and we must have just set some in here. So this is all got to be cleaned up. For now, I'm just going to stick all this over in the corner. Actually, the end of it's right here. So we do have to do something. We'll probably just do chicken wire up here because the chickens will come in here. All right, got all this stuff cleared out. So now last year we had measured off of the sides to start our rows. So those posts should be good that I already have. So I'm just gonna run a string line between the two, and then I'll know where to dig to put my first 2x10. That way I'm gonna have to dig that side down a little bit because it slopes like this to make it level. As far as the wood we're using, we had a bunch of treated stuff, but I just didn't really feel comfortable with the chemicals and stuff in it. I realized that it's probably only in a few inches next to the wood, but not worth it. So we're using non-treated wood. It should still last 5 years or so. We might stain the outside of it just to match the garden fence, and then we're not getting those chemicals into the dirt just because it's on the outside, and then it looks nicer. But for now, we're just gonna get the thing built because we gotta start putting dirt in it because it's already May and we gotta plant soon. So I'm gonna get my string line set up between these two posts and then start digging for my first 2x10. Okay, so my string line ran out last year. I'm just now remembering that. But we saved these couple little bundles, so if this isn't enough, I'll just tie them together. But I need to order a new spool. Huh, it's definitely gonna reach. That little spool goes a long way. Yeah, it's crazy. As I look down this end row of landscape fabric with a little mulch on it, there's grass and everything growing already. And we put the mulch on there like partway through the summer, so it wasn't like it's been decaying for years and it's all turned to dirt. But anyway, I'm not going to be too concerned about trying to make sure that these are level that way. I mean, each box will be level, but as far as one being the same elevation as the other, I don't really care about that. All I care about is each individual box being level. So I mentioned that we were using 2x10s. We have a bunch of wood like stored under tarps, sorted in different sizes, kind of roughly. There's some stuff that's still kind of a mess, but my wife and I had went through and like tried to find like similar sizes of stuff to see what we could make. And I was thinking that we'd come up with 2x10s, but they're actually 2x12s. So even better, a little bit taller. As soon as the chickens see that turned over dirt, they just can't resist scraping around in it for bugs. This chicken just saw me, now she's trying to come in here. I'll let her in so she can find some bugs. Come on. She's like, I know where the fresh bugs are. So we had a really wet spring, like almost record-setting wet. But then now it's already been like 2 weeks or more, 3 weeks without any rain. But then this morning we had a storm come through that dropped like 3/4 of an inch in like 15 minutes. So it's kind of nice because it's softening it back up a little bit. I mean, the garden's more fluffy anyway, but it softened everything up this morning. I'm not going to dig down a crazy amount because I don't want that side so low. So I'm just going to start laying out. I'll lay out my 10 foot, get a level on it, and then once I get it level, I'll go from there. All right, here's my first one. I think what I'm going to do is attach one of the ends. That way it'll just hold that up, keep it upright, make it a lot easier to level it, because otherwise right now it's just going to keep tipping over on me. So I'm going to get that cut and throw that on real quick. Again, this is all wood we had laying around. So like this one on that end is all split. So, and this end's a little split too. So this one I only know I'm going to get one end out of. So I'm just going to cut off that end and then cut my size I need. All right, so we're doing 4 foot. We'll take off 3 inches. There's the 2 2x4s on the end. Remember how I just said you gotta take off 3 inches? I didn't. All right, so I'm gonna screw that in now, just to give it some stability. We're gonna need a lot of dirt and leaves and maybe even sticks and stuff to fill this up with. Probably not sticks, probably just leaves and dirt, but these are good size. All right, so this is a kind of see the size of one of them. So far we have plans to do 4, 1 there and then 2 more there, but we have plenty of wood to do more. I don't know that we'd do more 10 footers, but we might do some smaller ones. It just depends, because it'd be nice to do some with like a trellis, like an A-frame trellis. Right now the trellis we have is 16 feet long, or the cattle panel. So most likely it's gonna go between these two like this archway. So yeah, I'm gonna screw the other one together. I got all this attached now, and I'm gonna make sure it's squared up, and then we'll lift this side up to make it level. Wow, that is perfect. Check 48 from this side. I was telling you about that bird netting stuff. It literally snags everything, but somehow doesn't stay up. Seems like a lot of messing around for a garden bed, but once it's set, it'll never move. So might as well take the time to make it right. Okay, that's perfect. I think what I might do is kind of prop it up on some like boards or something so that it's level, and then stake down those corners so that it doesn't move anymore on me. Just prop it up with some spacers. All right, that's close enough for me to stake that side down. So I have a bunch of these stakes because last year we had them marking out all of our garden rows. So I think I'm gonna use these. I don't really know what height. So I think I'm gonna get it close, and then I'll cut it off with the circular saw, and then I'll pound it in the rest of the way. So I'm gonna get this other corner started too, again, so it doesn't move. All right, I'm gonna screw those in. Okay, so now those can't move anywhere. I don't really want to take dirt from in here to level it because we're already gonna need a lot of dirt to fill it, so I don't want to take any out. So maybe I'll just scoop from where the path is right here. But I need it to be good solid dirt to be able to level that. I mean, obviously once we fill it. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this stake in and then I'm gonna screw it in at level, and then the stake will just be holding it up. And then once it gets filled with dirt, then we fill in here. I think we're gonna do like leaves to suppress all the weeds around in the walking path, or more mulch or something. And then that'll all fill in underneath of this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just put the stake in now. I'm gonna measure it, make sure that it's square. So measure from corner to corner. 130. Not even close to 130. It needs to go this way. All right, it's good enough for a garden bed. All right, now I'll level it. Screw it in. She needs to go up even a little higher. All right, I'm gonna do one in the middle on each side too, just so the dirt doesn't want to push it out too much. It's not that deep of a garden bed, so it shouldn't have that much outward pressure, but just add one in the middle. I'm gonna make some more stakes out of these ones that I cut off, and I'll use these for the middle ones. All right, so we got the next two built and put in place. Alyssa's just pounding in the last couple stakes, and then I think we'll start filling them with some stuff. They ended up being deeper on one side than I thought they were gonna be, just because of the slope. So we may put branches and stuff in there, I'm not sure, but we have a bunch of mulch from last year, so we might just dump it in there so that when it spills out and fills this gap, it's just mulch. And then we have some fill dirt that we can fill in, and then we'll get some topsoil and planting soil, that kind of thing, for the very top layer. Okay, so what we decided to do in between the beds is landscape fabric. I don't know what we're gonna put on top of it. Last year we did mulch on the same fabric. And as you can see, on top of the fabric, there's grass, crabgrass, growing. And that actually happened like right away last year. So it wasn't like, oh, well, this year it broke down and it's more like dirt, so it's growing crabgrass. I don't know if there's just dirt already in this mulch that we got or what, but it makes me nervous putting mulch here again, or on top of this fabric, because I don't know, this is just gonna grow more grass because there's already stuff started here in the dirt. This was where one of the walkways was last year, and all we did was mulch, no fabric. So I don't know, because it's not like it's growing through the fabric, like it's bad fabric. It's just growing on top of it. But what we are gonna do with our leftover mulch is probably fill in the bottom of these to the point that it's kind of plugging it up, and then we're gonna order a bunch of topsoil, and then we'll fill with topsoil, and then the top we'll mix in like a starter soil type of thing, or planter box soil. There's one of our babies. This is called a crypt walker. It's a mix between an I am Samani and an Americana. And then we also have some zombies, two little zombie chicks that are a mix between a white leghorn and a I am Samani, which is the all black chicken. The kids are out helping today. Kyler's pounding in steaks. Kenyon's trying to catch some chickens. And Ellie's helping load the mulch. Good job, buddy. Okay, we got all the mulch emptied to that trailer. That was just, like I said, leftover from last year. It's just been sitting in there all winter, but we got it filled up. You can see where it's spilling out. I'm undecided what I want to do here. If we decide to do mulch, then we'll build it up to where that's all solid. But we're gonna try, we got 2 cattle panels for trellises, and we're gonna try to do them between here and here on both of these. So we're just gonna bend one and see how it looks. All right, I've been told that 4 feet is the spacing you want. Let's hope, because that's what we got. Okay, let's start, like, you go that way, I'll go this way, and then we'll start pinching it together.
I'll do yours first.
Okay, it looks like it's gonna work. So we'll get the stakes, a couple stakes per side, and then we just wire it to it and go from there. And then you plant something on either side of it and it can grow up over. We'll just pound them in right in these corners. All right, I'm gonna try to keep this somewhat level. I got it lined up with this garden bed, so that should be level. And probably what I'll do, these ones are kind of flimsy, probably screw it into there for more strength. Hopefully that doesn't just, I feel like this might just force it. Might need to use the heavier duty T-posts, because these ones might be too flimsy. But we'll try it with this side, and if it doesn't work, I only have 5 of the heavy duty ones, so if this side doesn't work, we'll put the heavy ones in that side, then we'll get some more. All right, let's just see.
Holy crap. Hold on.
You just do yours first, because I don't know how.
Okay. There.
So if it's hooked at the bottom, it does push the top out a little. Basically, we're getting this kind of thing going on, and we want it to look nice and straight, because this is too flimsy, so then it's getting pushed over. Okay, well, I think we got to use the heavy duty one, so we'll try those on this side, and then we'll see how we like that. And if it's way better, then we'll just switch it.
I literally said, I think it's fine, then you're like, okay, we're gonna use the heavy duty.
She doesn't care as much. She's not as much of a perfectionist as I am. I think it looks weird to be going like this and then coming back. I just want it nice, and if we're gonna put all the time into it, might as well make it level. Okay, so we got these heavy duty ones now. These ones don't bend because they're actually a T. Good. By the time it's pushing on the garden bed, it can't be pushed around like that one. This one down a little more. Put this one down a little more. All right, let's try it again with these stiffer T-posts. All right.
Wait, I feel like if you come on the
Alyssa
inside,
doesn't like this part.
we can both, wait, shimmy. If you come on the inside, on my side.
I don't know, this feels more awkward than doing it the other way. What are you doing? You coming? I don't know. Felt a lot more awkward doing it this way. All right, we got these lock jaws, T-post string wire. So you're supposed to be able to just hook them on there. Let's hope they're that easy.
They won't be.
They're all tangled, so. Do one at the top. These are really like chalky feeling.
It's like the things that go on the bottom.
Like the marring that comes off. Okay, that's pretty good. I just think we need a bunch of them. I guess there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are even. We have tons, so we might as well use them. Yeah, those are nice. It's gonna have the weight of some green beans or something on here too. All right, let's just do one more. All right, we acquired some more heavy duty T-posts. These ones are a different color. I don't really like the red. So we got some green spray paint, just this spray paint. We were gonna spray paint the whole thing because they're gray, but I think we're just gonna do the red part. So we have one left of green, and then we have 3 that are gray and red.
Whoa.
And we got a bunch of rain today, like an inch of rain this morning. So I'm going nice and easy, at least to start. This one we're hitting a rock or something, but it's far enough in that it's got the strength we need. It's just gonna get weird. It's not perfectly level vertically. Maybe I could put a screw in. Let's see what this paint looks like. It's kind of bright, but it's not red. This one's
It'll match with all
probably
the
wet
green
from
rain.
being outside and all the rain.
Look at you go.
I think it was a good decision painting those green. That looks a lot better than the red. Now we just go back to our little wires again. The chickens hear the bag and they think it's the snacks. I've been training them on the bag of treats.
Hi, babies.
I guess it's working. All right, guys, that's it for this video. We got the beds built, put in place, staked down, and we got the trellises built. So throughout this week, we're gonna be getting some composting soil, some good draining soil for these beds. And then we're gonna be getting seeds. We'll probably do mostly seeds. We might do a few actual starters. And then, like I said, we might stain these. I don't know if we will or not, but we at least got the mulch in there. We might throw some leaves in too, just to save some money on the dirt that we gotta fill them with and plant them. And then I'm also gonna be doing some research on like a drip style irrigation, because I don't wanna be sprinkling all this and then I don't wanna be watering the pathways and then have all the weeds be growing everywhere. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.